This program is proudly presented by Westpac.
When they left the United Kingdom, they were hailed as the best chance against the Aussies for the last 20 years. They opened strongly, trouncing a green Papua New Guinea side. The game against Newcastle enhanced the tourist reputation. But the reputations came unstuck during Black Sunday against Northern Districts. Now you can make up your own mind, because tonight, just 3 days before the first test, the Poms take on last year's premiers, Manly Warringah. From Brookvale Oval, Sydney, Great Britain versus Manly Warringah. And your commentators, Darryl Eastlake, Jack Gibson, and Mick Cronin.
Good evening and welcome to Manly's Brookvale Oval, and it's never looked better. A chilly evening here at the seaside and an ideal night for football. Tonight's game is a curtain raiser for next Saturday's first test, and a chance for you to make up your minds about the tourists rated as the best side to have left Britain for the last 20 years. With me as always, Jack Gibson. Jack, this side has not had a chance to run together as a one solid combination outfit.
Well, the test sides sure haven't, but most test sides, up to a point, their first game haven't had that opportunity. But if anybody can do something here tonight, I think they'd get an inclusion in the test side, because it hasn't been picked as far as Malcolm Riley's concerned. And if they show out, he'll consider them for sure.
Mick Cronin, you've played in some divisional sides that have had success against touring sides like the Great Britain outfit that went down to Northern Division Sunday. How important is that?
I don't know whether that game's really important. I think some of their great sides have had a history of being beaten by divisional sides like Newcastle and Southern Division. And while tonight might be a last chance for some players to impress, I think we'll see the best of Great Britain next Saturday.
OK, comments from the boys. We'll be working with them right throughout the night. Sideline comments and interviews, Tim Sheridan and George Denikian. Kick off in just a few minutes. We'll take a break and be back for the Great Britain versus last year's premiers, the Manly Seagulls.
Led by Noel Cleal. Of course, the shock of mission out of the Australian Test side and the New South Wales State of Origin side. The big fella leads him out tonight. This good crowd at Brookvale on the seaside, giving their favourite team plenty to cheer about too as they come out. Went to England last year to play witness, were beaten there in somewhat controversial circumstances, but tonight out for revenge when they take on Great Britain. Good crowd in attendance here at Brookvale. Here comes the Great Britain side now. Usual roar from Sydney. Let's run through the entire team card for you. At fullback is Tim Dwyer, Stuart Davis and Greg Austin are on the wings. Joe Rapati, Darryl Williams, the Kiwi Connection Internationals in the centre tonight. Cliffy Lyons at 5'8". Jeff Tuvey is the halfback. Des Hasler slotted into lock. Noel Cleal, second row and captain of the side. Mark Pocock, his partner. The front row is Mark Brockenshire, Charlie Haggett and Ian Gately. The coach, of course, Bob Fulton. Great Britain side for you. At fullback is Phil Ford. The wingers are Carl Gibson, Martin of Fire. We have Ian Wilkinson, Darren Wright are the centre three-quarters. David Stevenson is the 5'8". David Holm is the halfback. Andy Platt, the captain of the side. He is at lock. Carl Fairbank, Paul Medley, both the second rowers. In the front row, Roy Powell, Paul Groves and Hugh Waddell. Their coach, Malcolm Riley. For tonight, an international fixture, Francis Desplat. He's from France, of course, and I believe has handled plenty of Test football, so he should feel pretty much at home here tonight at Brookvale. Well, Jack, a big test for this side tonight. Great Britain looking for a test jumper on Saturday.
Well, Great Britain have got to produce tonight as a team and as an individual, because Malcolm really will put anybody in from this side into the Test side if they can do something.
Mick Cronin, also a big night for Manly. They travelled to England last year and went down to witness in somewhat circumstances that people talked about, said were a little controversial, but tonight it's a big test for them.
Well, I think they would have hurt their pride last year getting beaten by Wigan. But I think tonight there's a chance of playing against Great Britain to regain some of that pride. And I think also it's a chance for some of these young players doing every footballer dreams about, and that's play against an English touring side.
Well, Manly, of course, without their international players, Borton and O'Connor, but still a pretty strong side out there.
Well, Manly are a club with great depth, and I think you'll see a big performance by them tonight.
Noel Cleal would have something to prove tonight, Jack.
Well, he's got to prove it every Saturday, Noel, and he's got the ability to do that.
And the kick-off now. Great Britain drive the ball down very deep. Big crowd here at Brookvale Oval tonight to cheer on the local side. And, well, it's good to see it, too. The ground's been specially lit tonight by the Channel 9 company. And it's looking pretty good. Right, Manly with the ball as they start to run it out. A little of this British defence. It's pretty solid, too, as it goes in. 2 and 3, Hunting with the pack. First penalty, though, goes to Great Britain, Jack.
Look at him, looks as though he's about 14, but it looks as though he can handle it all right.
Well, he was a bit nervous at the start, and to show, but I mean, he's handling it pretty well. And Great Britain cough up possession. 6 to go again, the referee has indicated. So Manly with a chance now. Look at Cleal looking for the ball. He overran it, though. They couldn't hear the call. But they're only about 5 metres out, Manly now. Looking for the runners. Tooby fires one out for Cleal. Cleal with a little 4-metre run, gets put down pretty quickly. Cribs another metre, crawls on his hands and knees. They fire it out along the line. Lyons looking for a start. He'll be there too. Oh, yes. Gately in for Manly Warringah. And that was just quick hands that time. Kept it alive and Gately went in. Good try from Manly Warringah in the opening minutes of this game. 4-0 Manly lead. Cleal did the run. Tooby got a long ball out for Lyons. Lyons had a look through the player. Got to Gately. Tooby too strong, too tough from there.
Well, the build-up to this try was Manly regaining possession for 2 or 3 lots of 6 plays. And they just had the Englishmen ragging in defence. They had too much possession for too long.
Great Britain getting a dressing down there at the moment. They wouldn't be too happy with that start. Dwyer setting up now for the kick on the junction of the 22 and maybe about 4 or 5 metres in for touch. It's a pretty acute angle. The flags, well, there's not much breeze to talk about tonight. It's a pretty calm night here after a very stormy couple of days with some blustery south and northwesterlies that have been blowing around. But the flag's pretty still tonight, so not too much to worry about.
Well, there's 6 minutes of football and 6 points are scored.
Tim Dwyer, the fullback for Manly, setting himself up. Drives it high. He's got plenty of distance. So comes off the post and goes in too. So great kick from Dwyer. Oh, yeah, that was a good one. In from the sideline and over. So Manly 6, Great Britain 0. Williams was the tackler. And Great Britain, as you said, Mick, are just going one out at the moment. I'd like to see them start to use their back line.
Well, they're probably not in a position to use their back line now, but earlier on when they had a few chances, they are going one out.
That's Medley. Oh, stolen the ball. Noel Cleal's got the ball. Heads for the corner. Noel Cleal. They've got him. They're only about 3 or 4 metres out, Manly. Well, they're losing possession. That's twice. Manly has pinched the ball off them. Let's see what they can do as Gately winds up. Going to be try number 2. Not this time. Haggett. Dummy half. Looking for the runners. It's Pocock. Pocock with a hard run again. Still going. Pocock. Oh, yes! Oh, well, that should not have happened. I mean, they just let him go another 4 or 5. Wardell having plenty to say. Well, that's paper-thin defence of Great Britain there. Paper-thin. As he gets Cleal, he's going to be close. Let's have a look. Whoa, how close. There's half a metre in it. Now it goes down to Tooby. Tooby will go in. A little man goes in. A great try. Oh, well done, Tooby. Would have had plenty time to pass the little man. Bang. Over for another 4-pointer. Looks like they've brought Gibson into the centres, Mick, and they've put Hegarty out on the wing. As Des Hasler makes a break. Hasler now with a bit of room to move. He's got Wilkinson. He puts a chip kick away. There's a little race for the ball. A bit of push and shove. Oh! What about the push and shove? But they've got him for the try. Manly. Little man's played well tonight. Lions fires one out for Williams. Williams, can he turn it inside? So easy. Levy Lyons puts it down, says thank you, 4 more. And this crowd revved up for Manly, and why not? Darryl Williams made the break. Levy Lyons kicked it in the first place and passed it, and then scored the try. The looks tell it all, don't they?
Well, the score tells it all. I said Manly have been far superior in the night. They've got more people willing to work, willing to go up on every play. Whereas Great Britain, they haven't got so many workers, and a few of their players aren't reluctant to go up on every play. I think now the scoreboard tells the story.
Well, to me, they seem to hang off the player rather than commit himself to defence. They just seem to hang off to me, and that's where Manly are just gaining so much ground here as Dwyer lines it up right in front. This will take him to 30 if he gets it. The way he's kicked, he shouldn't miss it. They're 30-0. Okay, they drive it off through Stevenson now. They've got to get some points on the board, surely. They've got to do something for a build-up for Saturday. As we've said, Saturday a brand new ball game, and of course it's a new team too. I don't think there'll be too many heads we'll see tonight playing on Saturday. This big crowd on Manly's side, and they're seeing some good football from the Manly club. Oh, big hit there on Brockenshaw. He just went into Lee Crooks and said thank you, bang. Might have hurt himself too. He's a bit slow to roll over. There was a lot of contact in that. Well, let's have a look, because there was a signal coming out from the referee that he headbutted here, Crooks. Let's have a look. And we line it up. There's the wrestling match going on. It was a big hit. Well, the head went in.
That was a cold headbutt. He's getting ready for the now, and he's got plenty of weapon there.
Well, that's not the sort of play we like to see here. I mean, Manly leading 30-0. I mean, well, let's see some of their skills, not some of their rough play.
Not only will it get Great Britain beat, it'll get the game beat. It goes undetected.
Okay, this scrum going to pack down on the 22 Manly's end of the ground. Scrums have gone 6-4 to Great Britain. Reshuffle pack now. Lee Crooks up in the front row. Holm very quick onto the ball. This time he's got Wilkinson in from fullback. He has a run. Darryl Williams takes him. And he's slow to get up. This time Lee Crooks go for a run. And Brockenshaw come in for the square up. Well, there it was. That was a bad tackle. It's on. It's all on now. Lee Crooks, every time he comes onto a football field in Australia, something happens with this fella. He did it with West. He did it with Balmain. Now he's doing it with Great Britain. And Brockenshaw wanted him, lined him up, set his mind. Oh boy, what a hit. See it again. Lee Crooks. Bang, there it went. And he went down like a stranded whale.
He come up with his knee there, Crooks, when he got tackled. think he's contributed to the game absolutely zero.
As he went down, I'll tell you. And Holm having a bit to do with it. Williams is all there. Well, he's coming off. Brockenshire's been sent from the field. And I find that pretty incredible. Listen to the crowd. They're cheering him. He's getting a standing ovation here at Brookvale as he comes off. Plenty of support for Brockenside out of that incident. Lee Crooks having plenty to say.
Well, Brockenside deserves the clap. He deserves the applause. What's he going in the dressing room for? I don't know. He's been misinformed, that referee.
And Great Britain come up with a penalty. 10 minutes for Brockenside. 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, Manly one short. Great Britain with the ball. Let's see what they can do. Tempers are starting to run a little hot. The referee straight away blowing the whistle. Still plenty of push and shove going on. Great Britain again get the penalty. And the Frenchman having a bit to say. Groves now with the ball. Gets it on the Wardell. Oh, Wardell with a better run that time. A bit of fire there that time. They're only about a metre out. Can they get over the line? I'd say Manly will want to hold them out. Desperately guarding the line, Manly. Hull gets it on the Platt. Platt now wrapped up. Falling all over. This crowd really urging Manly on now. Good atmosphere here at Brookvale Oval. Holmes, short ball off to Lee Crooks. Lee Crooks was the under the foil though. Manly have come up with a football through Gately. Well, Lee Crooks already the villain in the crowd's eyes here. Every time he does it, they just boo. And Groves still going high. He started that at the start of the game, and he's been consistent. And again, the whistle blows. And this time, Great Britain brought offside as he waves them back. Well, a bit of stop and start this football.
It was a good decision. They were well offside. Great Britain on that occasion. They're not going to win this football game. They've got to get out with something. What are they going to try and do? They're not going to win the fight. If they can maintain the scores at this level, they'll do something.
If Lee Crooks gets a run on Saturday, I'd say he's tipped his hand.
Well, he has, but I think he's also looks as though his condition's not great. I don't know he'd be out there running for too long.
Well, Manly are full of running now, and this defence of Great Britain is getting a bit more effective. Of course, it's all too late. It's 30-0. Here's Cleal. Here's Cleal. Winds up, still going. Cleal, what a handful he is. Look at that. Oh, another one went in. There's a short one gone in from Holm. Well, they're going to go nowhere here. He's pushing clear out of the way. Big Crush is just laughing at him. Dwyer says, let's play football. And that's what Manly want to do. Austin kicks it ahead. Taken, though, this time by Wilkinson. He's about 7 metres out. Well, it's pretty scrappy stuff at the moment from Great Britain again. They're just running around in circles. There's no one to back them up. They're flat-footed. Ball carry just runs into it. They're running into each other. Grove. Goes nowhere. Lines over the top. That'll be a penalty. Oh, look at Haggerty. Haggerty says, don't do that again, my son. Well, this is getting out of hand. Every time they get touched, the Poms, they want to fight. Lions are saying, I caught one on the head. Cleal is now laying down the law saying my boys aren't going to get bashed, and I think that's fair comment, quite frankly. Every time they're going in, Mick, there's just too much rough stuff.
Well, there is. The game's getting out. They've forgotten forgetting about playing football now. They want to fight every tackle. They're swinging arms. I think really they're not going to do much damage that way. I think they'll end up losing the game and the fight. I think that's better than trying to concentrate on football and get a few points on the board, England.
I couldn't blame England for anything that they did wrong on that occasion, but I still don't know what they got the penalty for.
Yeah, I sort of agree there. I think maybe Lions are at fault. Now, there's young Paul Shaw coming up, and Toovey getting a great round of applause here from this family crowd. He's had a fine game tonight. England back in possession. And their feet and arms getting flung around everywhere. Who is it? Lee Crooks. Gets it back to Groves. Groves gets it on to Holm. Holm's got Waddell there. No option, though. Takes the tackle. Graves. Well, this Graves, all he wants to do is push himself. Play box in. Now it's all up. Oh, look at Lee Crooks. He can't wait to get into it. Williams has got him sorted out. Now everyone's wrapping everybody up. And this is starting to degenerate into just a push and shove match. But Graves is the bloke that every time he gets touched, he wants to throw one.
Well, they don't need sports writers at this game. They need war correspondents.
Well, I look angry every time there's a penalty given or plays called up. Haven't been too angry in the play yet. Referee having a torrid time, and I honestly think Graves has got to be very lucky to still be there. Now watch this. Here he goes. There's the push and shove. Bang. Paycock says, leave me alone. I'm getting up. And away it goes. And he's almost got another one, and then in come Hegarty. He's been a bit fired up. Now what's happening? Well, that's Hegarty. And I'd agree with that. So Hegarty's gone. 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the sin bin for Hegarty. Brockton Shire is back for Manly. He's done his 10 minutes in the bin.
A little bit, but whether it's, when you look at it, whether it's enough to worry Peter Jackson or Michael O'Connor at this stage, be a bit doubtful.
Yeah, it's a red-hot combination, the centre combination for Australia Saturday.
Well, you've got one, a very creative flame, one with plenty of pace, and that's something that seems to be a bit lacking in the English backs out here tonight.
Gately now turns it away for Shaw. Shaw with a half little break. And they're back to the halfway line is Manly. At 5 minutes remaining in the match as Lyons puts the chip up. Goes back to Offia. Hasn't had a lot of chances tonight. He does a lot of this. He props, he stops. They seem to prick him up pretty well.
Well, I think it seems like there's a bit of a lack of experience out there. He must have something. He scored over 40-odd tries in England season. Last season, he scored 20 on tour so far. So there must be something to his game.
Well, it was, in fact, he scored 44 tries. It's all over, of course. The final siren has gone. I think Malcolm really would be happy with that. Quite frankly, that it's all over, because it's 30 points to nil. Manly have defeated Great Britain, I guess, taking some revenge for going down when they played in England last year. But your overall impression? George Danikian down on the ground at the moment.
David Hume. But still, what were your impressions?
Oh, I don't know, they might have just run up against a fairly determined Manly side. Obviously, there's only going to be 4 or 5 of those guys in the test side. I think Malcolm really will have to reach for some magic dust. You know, I don't know what they can do.
Even if they make 8 or 9 changes, what can you see them doing against Australia?
Oh, mate, I just wish them luck, that's all. I don't think they, you know, can't do much at all, really, I suppose.
Noel, thanks very much.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, I mean, I wish officials could keep the kids off the field. I mean, here are players who've just played a game of rugby league. They're trying to do the right thing for the spectators at home here, to tell them what's happened. I mean, the kids just jump onto the field, and it just amazes me. It happens every week round, Jack. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. Surely we can keep the crowd off a ground after a match.
Well, it's a tough job, so they haven't got any barbed wire around this place, and the kids' whole endeavour, but they've got to come up with something that's going to give the player the recognition, or the interviewer, or the people at home watching.
Okay, well, I think we've summed it up pretty well on the field. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got the man of the match, and we'll have comments from Mick Cronin, and of course, Jack Gibson as well. Well, Manly have beaten Great Britain with a final score again, reminding you 30 points to nil. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget the first test, Australia against Great Britain next Saturday. Now, don't be worried about this tonight, because it'll be a brand new ball game then. And we'll have that for you on Nine's Wide World of Sports. That's at 8:30 Saturday night. See you then on Wide World of Sports. Good night.
To the big one, the centenary test match. 100 test matches between these two great countries, Australia and Great Britain. And going into the match, I think the record stood at something like Great Britain 49 victories, Australia 46, and 4 test matches drawn. Of course, Australia went into the match as odds-on favourites after that clash against Manly, the way they were defeated up there at Brookvale Oval. And in fact, some bookmakers were giving away 16.5-point start just prior to the kickoff.
The referee for this international fixture, Francis Dupart from Toulouse in France. Australia kick off now, and
plenty of defence running across. Well, Jack Gibson, this side from Great Britain has been written off, but a lot of people are saying they can come back today.
Well, a renewed team.
Lucky for Australia that. But England running with plenty of purpose now. Out it comes for Hume. They get it onto Ellery Hanley. Heading for the corner. Hanley. He'll score. And it's there. Great Britain scored the first try. Great Britain wins. Ellery Hanley just scooted for the corner and too big, too strong and too fast. Great Britain jubilant here this afternoon. Leading now 6 points to 0 with a kick to come. And really, you can go back to Andy Gregory there. He danced away. He had Australia at 6s or 7s, but it was Schofield that took the ball. Ellery Hanley through the dummy and split him, and then headed for the corner and just too much pace. Cross came Jack and Lindner, but they couldn't take him.
It's a case of one player faster than the other. He just beat him for speed. It's a great run.
Three Great Britain players bring him down. Plenty of talking in the Australian side now. Out it comes for Gary Jack. He goes forward 4 or 5 and taken down. A chance now for Australia. Canescu. Out it comes to Sterling. There's the little grubber kick. He picks it up again and fires it out for Backo. Big Sam Backo. Oh, big slam and Sam goes in for the green and goal. Oh, some clever work there from Peter Sterling. He kicked it, flicked the ball out. Backo was standing deep. And there they are congratulating each other. Look at this. Watch Sterling. The little angle kick. He miskicked it. Quickly flicked it back. Look at Backo. Steamed onto the ball. Gets to the line and slams it down for 4 for Australia.
Well, that's perseverance. Look at this. Sterling turns a mistake into a plus. He was smart enough to regather that ball. Backo held the momentum to get over that little wide line.
Great Britain a little shell shock with that one. They've been playing so well, and there it is. So we have a scoreline now that's locked up. 6 apiece to direct home. He goes from there, Lewis. Oh, he's only a metre out. So Australia, where are the big men? Gordon still going. Gordon unloads back to Backo. Heading for the line, hitting Bowen, meeting. Oh, good stuff both sides. Fullerton Smith gets it on to Sterling. Yes, Jackson's in. Oh, yes. Sterling with a beautiful pass to Jackson. They threw the English defence to the post and spun it out wide. And Jackson's over for us. First Australia with a great pass off Sterling. Peter Jackson from the Canberra club, his first test. Age 24, and watch this. He won't forget this day. Takes a pass off Sterling and bang, in for Australia.
Well, Australia run a pretty fair shepherd on this play. But the expertise of Sterling was sufficient enough to get it through to Jackson to get the job done. But he nearly could have blown the whistle there.
Well,
I think Australia, just to win this game, they've just got to start, I think, playing their forwards a bit tighter, just sucking into defence a bit, then start moving the ball wide.
Michael O'Connor is successful with the... Gregory onto Ward. Oh, forward pass by Amott.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't blow the whistle. There's been a few earlier, but it was forward.
Oh, yeah, long way forward. It was a shame, too, because the gap was there, but it was a mile forward. Look at Gary Jack. He's saying, what about that? Well, you would have had trouble seeing how much that pass was forward. We're up very high, of course, but it was a mile forward. But here's Vaughton. Vaughton now bustling and knocking over the Great Britain players. He goes forward. That's a great run from Vaughton. Out for Lewis. Lewis shows the ball, runs Lewis. Still going Lewis. He's a very strong player. Gets it out for Sterling. Ball loose. Picked up by Eddinghausen. Back he comes. Grits the teeth. Goes forward by 4 or 5, almost to the 22. Canescu. Australia not done with yet. They're coming back all of the time with Bacco again. He's been hard to handle this afternoon, Bacco. Lewis, shot for goal. Yes, sir, he's got it too. Cool as you like. Cool as you like. 13-6 now, Australia lead. We've got Roy Powell on, and we've got Stephen Folkes on. Gregory is going off for Great Britain. Borton has gone off for Australia. Gregory going off for Great Britain, and Powell in number 15, the player from Leeds, is on. They need to get creative. Dixon. Gregory comes on to Schofield. He puts it down. Well, they can't afford that. You'd be unhappy about that, Ray French.
Well, it was a bad knock on there by Gary Schofield, but I think Great Britain are playing some frantic rugby, Darrell, frenetic rugby. They've got to do with 7 or 8 minutes to go, but what a performance. Everyone wrote off this Great Britain side here in Sydney, and these lads have shown there's still some pride in this British Lion.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Coming back to that player off here, I know he's a great character and he scored 44 tries in your season, but he seems to panic. But I'll stay here with Ettinghausen for the moment as he makes another bustling run up the touchline. Gets it back for Sterling. Australia on the attack. Sterling gets one onto Lewis. Lewis looking for support, a long looping pass out for Curry. Curry gets a pedal down to the floor now and had a corner there and couldn't get it out. Oh, Australia going. The green and gold's in top gear. Lindner heading for the line of fire. But yes, Australia have gone in again through Peter Jackson. Try number 2. Well, the momentum was going. It all started with Ettinghausen way over the other side, and they just drove the ball forward. Donnie Ferner, the Australian coach, would be delighted with that. That was really unexpected. Lachlan is up. Limping. Henderson Gill ready to come out for Great Britain in number 14. Powerful looking fella, this boy. So Lachlan is going off. Wally's decided to stay in. And 2:38 on the clock. Play actually 10 metres short of the 22, so they lost about 30 metres in all of that. Gregory stabs the ball. It goes to Belcher. And we're in the last 30 seconds of this test now.
Well, I've got to compliment Great Britain. Their enthusiasm hasn't waned. They've really gone for it.
Bulletin Smith. Here's the countdown now. 6, 5, 4. The crowd do it for us. And Australia have defeated Great Britain here at the Sydney Football Stadium. The first test played here, 17 points to 6. What was a game of stop-start football, but it was pretty entertaining. And Great Britain have showed some potential for the next 2 matches ahead. Players congratulating themselves now. Ray French, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I've got Ellery Hanley with me here, Darrell. Ellery, although in defeat, you must be pleased with that performance. Tremendous effort.
Yeah, it was quite a first-class display, but I'm still not happy with our performance. We made too many basic errors. They had the footy ball longer than us. I'm disappointed. We've got a lot of things to work on, but I can assure you that we're beginning the game back to the length half.
A great defensive and tackling skills from your pack, Ellery, and everyone, in fact, wrote us off, didn't they?
Yeah, they wrote us off and everything, but you look at the papers tomorrow, it's 17-6 to them, and I know that our lads and everybody in GB, they won't be happy, and I'm not satisfied.
George Danikin, you had Peter Jackson with you.
Peter Jackson, what a great debut. 2 tests, or first test, 2 tries.
Yeah, mate, in the first half I didn't think we controlled the ball too well, but we knew that in the second half we come out and control the ball, and you know, we get the points. I was in the right place at the right time, and I was really pleased with my second half performance.
The referee made life hard in that first half because we just couldn't, the Australians couldn't get some sort of momentum going. That changed in the second half.
No, yeah, he gave away a lot of penalties in that first half, and the game really didn't have any continuity until the second half.
When did you sense that Australia had it in their keeping?
Probably when Wally kicked that field goal. I mean, they had to score twice then to beat us, and there was only about 10 minutes left on the clock, and and there's no way an Australian side was going to let him in again.
Thanks very much. Ray French.
Thanks, George.
Well, Don, that was some test match.
That was a test match. It certainly was, and we were flat out at half-time. We were worried because they were tackling so well, and their kicking game was spot on, and it put us under a lot of pressure. But the Pillars come back in the second half, and we controlled the ball, and then we got away with a try. But, there was nothing in that game, I can assure you.
You had said all week, in fact, you were a lone voice who had said that this Great Britain side had some skill.
I knew that. I knew what, when I was in England over there, for the last tour, I saw these players and I knew what they could do. And anyone, as I said, took them lightly, were going to have mud on their face. And I'm glad they proved me right because they're a very, very good football side.
So we can all look forward to a second match at Lang Park now.
Oh, it is a top match for Lang Park. And for these two teams to get together again, it won't be any different. It will be a struggle all the way.
Thank you very much, Don.
Sam Bacco now.
Sam Bacco, how hard were the exchanges in that first half?
Oh, they were fairly hard, mate. They come out pretty hard, pretty strong. We were unlucky not to score a couple of tries and made mistakes. We made too many mistakes in our red zone, so we made it hard for ourselves as well.
Is that what Don Ferner told you at half-time?
Yeah, we need to throw out a couple of mistakes out and get back up there and go forward.
You're making a habit of scoring tries in important matches.
Oh, mate, I love it.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Sam Bacco pretty happy here, and so is this crowd. They've seen a pretty entertaining game of football. But perhaps...
Break. On a more serious note, these two teams last met back in 1979, and Britain won a torrid encounter by 10 points to 7, and lining up for Brisbane was Ross Strudwick. Of course, he's involved again tonight. He is the coach of Combined Brisbane. As they make their way out onto Lang Park, they'll be looking forward to giving Strudwick a winning farewell. He's off to Halifax to take up a coaching appointment in the English division. The fullbacks, Steve Hegarty. The wingers, Kelly Egan and Gordon Barwick. The centres are Brett McCarthy and Steve Cherry. The 5'8", Peter Coyne. Halfback, Brett Daunt. Lock forward, Darren Smith. Ian Staines and Haggarth are the second rowers. The props are Ponting and McIntyre, and the hooker, Bill Holmes. Great Britain make their way out onto Lang Park. They're coached, of course, by Malcolm Reilly. They'll be looking forward to a wing tonight. Here's how they line up. Phil Ford, Henderson Gill, Carl Gibson, Gary Schofield, David Stevenson are the centres. The 5'8", Hillary Hanley. Halfback, Mike Ford. Paul Dixon is the lock forward. The second rowers are Fairbank and Powell. The props are Crooks and Case, and the hooker is Paul Groves. Our commentators, as usual, Alan Thomas, Mick Vivers, and the very slick Andrew Slack. The referee is Mr. David Manson. Let's go straight to the kickoff.
And the two Davids in centre screen. Referee David Manson and the Great Britain centre David Stevenson kicks off this representative match in Brisbane. Straight into it, straight into the 22 with Ian Staines. And that's a nice progressive start from Brisbane right from the first tackle, Mick Vivers.
Well, that was a very good attacking. Mike Ford felt the whole lot of that.
Staines again, just outside the 22. Well, what about a tip for the match, Farmer?
I think Great Britain will get away with this one.
Comfortably?
I think so. I hope not. I hope these young fellas go very well. It's the first time we've seen Brisbane, remember, without the so-called stars, or the stars, because they were stars. So they'll have to think for themselves, and we'll see if they can come up.
Andrew Slack, Great Britain got a bit to prove tonight. They've lost their last 3 on the trot, including the test.
Very much so, but I think, Alan, Saturday's performance in the test will have really boosted their confidence, and tonight we should see a really fired-up Great Britain team. Brisbane, on the other hand, they've got a lot to prove. They're young guys here who haven't had the chance this year in the wake of Broncos and other things, so Ross Strudwick really stressed to them to make the most of their opportunity. But I think a lot depends on the back row. Darren Smith, Glenn Haggarth and Ian Staines. If they perform, well, I think Brisbane could be in for a shot, but you'd have to think that Great Britain to win.
All right, I'm going for an upset. Groves to distribute. Now Hanley. Schofield. That's come off a Brisbane player. And that's play on. Ford. Mike Ford. Someone pick it up. Toe. And that should be a try. Not one of the prettiest ones you'll see. Gary Schofield will score. Great Britain in. They lead 4. Only 5 metres out. Last tackle coming up. Dawn on his own. Linking over the top. McCarthy. Try. Yes. Brett McCarthy. Clever play from Brett Dawn. And Brisbane in the score, and it's 4 points apiece. Now Groves. Now it's gone to Crooks. And Hanley looking to set things up, and he goes on a dummy. He found space. Here's a Fire looming beside him. This will test Hegarty. Oh, he's got blinding speed, a Fire. Hegarty was up 5 metres from him. He might as well have been in Caboolture. He had no hope. A Fire under the post, and Great Britain lead by 8 points to 4.
Well, it seems that Ellery Hanley is the man causing Brisbane all the trouble. That's where the breaks are coming. Here it is, the big dummy. And not a bad fend off either. Away he goes, and there's 2 supports coming. There's a Fire. Now, I felt for Steve Hegarty there. As you said, Caboolture? He may as well have been in Toowoomba.
Well, that was a great piece of work from Hanley. And the cover just not good enough. But he set a Fire up beautifully. He actually had 2 options, didn't he? Easy could have went for Carl. Actually, it would have been easy for him to go to Gibson, probably on the inside. But a Fire with a lot of speed, only on the park for about, 2 minutes. And he scored. The try has just been converted. And Great Britain now lead by 10 points to 4. Now, here's Gibson coming on Hanley's inside. But he decided to go outside, and Hegarty had no possible. A Fire just went with tremendous acceleration. Throws the arms out a bit wide when he runs the big fellow, and a little bit of a cushion under the post. 10 points for the lead for Great Britain, and there's 15.5 minutes to go in the first half. That's Paul Groves. Now it's with Crooks. Dixon. I noticed Lee Crooks tonight not as vigorous as he was against Manly a couple of weeks ago.
No, he's playing himself, I think, for a test spot.
Gill. Henderson Gill. Daunt couldn't hold him. Fairbank. Carl Fairbank all the way. Great Britain again. They lead now by 14 points to 4.
Well, once they start to move, they're most known. Now we see Brett Dawn, he tried to get a hold of him, but no chance. And the support play's coming very well for Great Britain. I must admit that Fairbank seemed to have plenty of speed. We'll see here. Where's Brett Dawn? Here he is. What a formidable task.
Henderson Gill just too strong. Fairbank backing up. Hegarty tripping over. Coyne coming too late. And I think he was coasting at the finish, Fairbank. I think he had a little bit of petrol in the tank. So Carl Fairbank in to score. And Great Britain now lead by 14 points to 4 with the kick to come. And the kicker is David Stevenson, the centre. Been able to score tries, Mick. I might just wait for this kick first. And that's away. So Great Britain lead by 14 points to 4. 8 minutes to go before the break. Outside their own 22 by a fraction, Great Britain. Back to Phil Ford. He's missed by Coyne. He's missed by Holmes. He's missed by Egan. Here's trouble. Oh, nice hands of Fire. Here he goes. Martin of Fire underneath the post. And it was the defensive work that was lacking from Brisbane.
Brisbane weren't inside the 5 metres then. I'm not here.
Well, there's one player offside out here. Darren Smith by about 3 metres. So Hanley will run it up the middle. Ellery Hanley. Hanley, if he gets the pass to Ford, he'll score. They keep it alive. Mike Ford in to score. And Brisbane just can't regroup. They can't put the player on the ground. And Hanley was able to stand in the tackle from 50 metres out from the line. Can Brisbane get over?
No one near him to support.
Daunt. Wide. Coyne. And they've got a bit of room. Egan, he should go all the way. He's big enough, he's strong enough, and he does. Kelly Egan in to score. Brings this crowd at Lang Park, gives them something to cheer about. Great Britain lead 28-8.
Well, it's certainly about time, and White moved it on beautifully, the ball. Coyne, and then Egan, and he meant business. Could have got a bit further, probably. Maybe I'm wrong. No, he was on the way down when he scored it. But this is good to see, Brisbane finishing on and giving their backs a bit of a go. And I must say this, that the Brisbane backs haven't had an opportunity much all night. There's Kelly Egan, 19, student.
It's created a big impression since he's come down from Cairns, playing with the diehards.
Didn't seem to mind that I gave him a
night from the Sydney Sports Stadium. And Andrew Slack McVivers and myself will be in Sydney to bring you that match live at 7:30. Can Queensland make a clean sweep, Mick?
Yes, they have to if they want to keep these guys in the test side that's picked after that. Yes, they can. They've got the side. They've got the reason to do it. They've had the Southern press giving them a nice old rev about players not playing up to standard. It's just a pity that you can't throw the ball in some of these guys who babble. Throw them out there and say have a go, because in that first test, that first half was as solid as I've seen.
2.5 minutes remaining. Brisbane in possession. Egan again. Big Kelly Egan's away. He's beaten Hanley. Pass has gone to Coyne. Daunt's position right. One extra. Langer. Back towards Barwick. Oh, that's a good try. Well done, Gordon Barwick. But it started from Kelly Egan. And Brisbane have finished on the right note in the dying minutes. A very, very good try. Great Britain lead by 28 points to 12.
Oh, it's lovely to see them finish with a bit of a kick. They'll go home quite pleased with themselves. We're only seeing the last part of it here. But a good run from Kelly Egan and Daunt there. And oh...
Well, it was good backup play. Langer linking up.
Well, Kevin Langer, he had to dart and weave and look for his support. Here's Egan. Gets away. Back in, and then the one-handed pass. Hello, tendency of Gene Miles. There's Daunt. Here comes Langer. Then on to Barwick. And I didn't think Barwick would make it. But that was a determined effort.
Righto, the kick's in front, so the extras should be added in a moment. And with only 1 minute... Oh, it's over. It won't be the greatest kick you'll ever see at Lang Park. Peter Coyne's converted the try, 28-14. We'll go for a wrap-up. Firstly to Andrew Slack.
Well, good news for Brisbane, those late tries. They've played reasonably well, but what they've been let down by is their first-up defence. A couple of the forwards have just missed too many tackles. It's as simple as that. The attack was going quite well early, but after those missed tackles, the attack too fell away, but it's picked itself up well. And the likes of Kelly Egan, Coyne and Gordon Barwick have played well, and the forwards thought Bill Holmes and Dean Ponting did well, and Kevin Langer, he'll never rival Ken Irvine on the wing, but in the situation that he's been thrown in there, I think he's done exceptionally well. Britain have played well in patches. I think they've showed quite a bit of class in the back line. Disappointingly, they haven't done enough of it, but I think there's a bit there to work to, and come the second test, things could get very interesting.
Farmer?
Well, Brisbane boys tried very hard. Mark McIntyre, he'll learn a lot from this. He was disappointing. He'd know that he tried hard, but it just wasn't up to scratch. I thought probably the best was Ponting and Holmes of our forwards, and Coyne, Daunt, and probably McCarthy and Cherry are the best of the backs. for Great Britain. Yes, you're right, Andrew. They've got plenty to show us. They were just idling in the back line. Their forwards, they'll all gain from this, but they've shown us that they'll come out in the second test and maybe give us a bit of hurry up.
Full-time score, Great Britain defeated Brisbane by 28 points to 14.
Well, there it was, Great Britain winning by 28 points to 14. Let's have a look at the full-time statistics. And the penalties favouring Brisbane by 13 to 3. The scrums 10-9 in favour of Great Britain. They also scored 5 tries to 3 and 3 goals to 1, giving Great Britain a scoreline that favoured them.
Brisbane, Lang Park was the venue for the second test match in the Bicentennial Ashes series between Australia and Great Britain. Australia were already one up in the series. The critics, they had them as strong odds-on favourites to make it 2 in a row.
All set to take off. Lachlan will kick off. He drives it deep too. Sterling takes it for Australia. Oh, it gets it onto Curry and almost a mishandle. First touch of the ball. Going on here. Ellery Hanley having a bit of push and shove with Bacco, but let's come back here as O'Connor. O'Connor! Oh yes! O'Connor! He does it! Match after match is below! Giving a chance and he just splits him! Oh, beautiful try for Australia from O'Connor! Got it! Lewis, a little chip. Lewis gets it back. Chance! Oh yes, Jackson! Beautiful play from Lewis. Has put Jackson over. Well, while ever England go high, Australia will play football, no doubt about that. Jackson now calling back because who is that, Lewis? Let's have a look. Mick, here it comes. So there's Lewis with a chip. Hume comes across at him. There's the pass. Oh, no, it wasn't. Well, I would have said Lachlan. Well, Ray French, this high stuff, you know, what do you think?
Well, it's not very good, is it, Darryl? And certainly I don't think Malcolm really would want this, because 2 high tackles have actually given away 2 tries here. But once again, it's this man, Wally Lewis, here on his own home ground. He's the master. He's made the try.
Well, I think you're going to have a couple in the sin bin if they don't keep their hands down. Peter Jackson, 2 tries in the first test. Another one tonight. O'Connor now 2 from 2. He's kicking so well. There it is, 3 from 3. Scoreline, Australia 14, Great Britain 4. And they need to come back quick. Australia electing to go right up to the centre now. Lewis will probably spin it. Goes to Sterling, to Jackson. To Jackson with the arms free. Can't pop it this time, though. And the 2 wingers are over here at the moment. Eddinghausen's on this side with Curry. So both Australian wingers playing on the one side as Henderson Gill winds up. He runs over to where Eddinghausen should be. Eddinghausen now running across to Offbear. So both wingers are loading up, and he's still got a bit of pace, this guy. Oh boy, that's better stuff.
Well, that was the cruelest play of the evening. They come up with a fresh ball. He runs dirty yards with it and out.
It was a play that he did in the first test too. He gives up territory pretty easy. There it is for you.
He was heading for the dressing room.
What do you think of Eddinghausen and Curry, both on the same side of the field here a moment ago?
Well, that's how the play came.
Jack. The wingers on both sides are making a lot of ground tonight, covering the ground, backing each other up. Jackson onto O'Connor. O'Connor this time taken by Ford. The help from Hume. Sterling, Fulton Smith. Out to O'Connor, flicks it back to Canescu. On to Sterling, Lewis. Lewis is like touch football at the moment. Bacco, onto Lewis. The crowd have gone up here in Australia right away. Again, Gary Jack gets it onto Eddinghausen. How he'll score. Oh yes, he teed into the corner. Eddinghausen in. A great play from Australia. They just kept it alive. Lewis made the break and they just kept throwing it around like a hot potato. Well, Australia playing running rugby league at the moment. And the crowd sapping it up. Set again, Canescu fires it out to Pearce. Now this was the damaging run here as Bacco unloaded onto Lewis.
Lewis stood him up, straightened him up. Jack was there coming through. Got it on to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen then too fast for Offia. Got him off, and Lachlan too slow.
There's a lot of players you can compliment on this play, on this try. But I'm going to compliment Lewis twice. It was his try, and a little poor defence by the winger allowed Ed to get in there.
Great Britain in behind their line, 18-4, the kick to come. Michael O'Connor has not had a lot of success in Sydney at the new ground, but he loves to kick up here. Oh, and off the upright this time. So the score remains Australia 18 leading Great Britain 4 in this, the second test. Enescu under Lewis. Makes the tackle this time. 32 metres out from the Great Britain line, Australia. Vorton gets it out for Pearce. Pearce makes another 4 or 5 almost to the 22. Australia eager now to attack. Goes out to Sterling. Sterling back inside. Now he's inside the 22 just. Lewis now looking for the ball, and it goes to him. Lewis prepared to run a bit tonight, but Great Britain come up with the ball this time through Beardmore. Gregory from dummy half. Out of 1, out of 2, but can't leak up. Hume was there, overran him. Hanley splits him. Hanley, oh, he's got some pace. He's a good footballer, this bloke. And then it comes out of Ford. Ford puts down the accelerator. Will he make it? I think he will. And Great Britain has scored right under the black dot. Well, now we've got a test match as Great Britain come back and put that one down to Hanley. He busted Australia. He made the territory. He got on the Ford. Ford ran like a startled gazelle straight to the post. Here's Hanley. Enescu can't get him. Now he gets it out to Ford. The cover defence comes across. Curry just can't get there though, and he kicks out, and that's a Great Britain try. That's a super try. Scoreline.
Well, Hanley gets rid of Lewis on this play. Once he gets it back to Ford, he just had too much quickness. Certainly done a dry dive when he got there.
Kick from Lachlan, successful. So, Australia now leading Great Britain 18 points to 10. Play centre field, about 12 metres out. Handling errors, Great Britain 10, Australia 13. Surprises me a little, but then Australia have been pushing the ball a bit harder. Lewis, little flick round, flick pass. Look at this, they're just running everywhere. Jackson, still dancing. Jackson, still playing Jackson. Oh, it's a good player. Good player, Jackson. Australia close.
They've got Hanley even in front of them.
There's a try. It's a try, no doubt about it. He's done it again, the big fella, Macko. He's had a great year. Too big, too strong, too tough from there, just barged over. Jack was just pointing out how far that the Great Britain side were offside when Backo went in there, but he just pushed his way over. He's just a big, strong man. Watch this. Dummy half. They know he's going to go from there. Just can't stop him. Too much determination.
Now he went in there, he's just had too much leverage. He just shot from dummy half and powered over.
I can't remember a front rower for a long time that scored so many tries.
Well, now, I think if you're looking for a representative player of the year, I think Sam Backo will be high on your list. Every game now he seems to come up with a try.
Okay, well, the kick's right in front. Connor, 3 from 4. Another great night with a boot. Yes, sir. So, the scoreline now starting to get a little bit embarrassing. Australia 24, Great Britain 10. Comes 9-7, Australia's favour. Again, he's having trouble getting them down. Scrum screwing around. Again, the whistle blows, and this time he gives a penalty to Australia. Well, they're not learning, are they? I mean, every time they spin a scrum, they give away a penalty.
Well, I think that's the first one, Darryl. He's penalised Australia 3 times previous in scrums.
Well, I meant that. I mean, every time the scrum screws, someone gets a penalty. It's made it pretty clear from the word go, but Australia now deep inside the 22, and Daly plays it back to Canescu. Here comes Bacco. Bacco winds up. He's out on one. Look at this. They're just hanging off him. And he's almost there again. What a run. What a player Bacco is this year. Back to Canescu. On to Lewis. Lewis. Oh, just can't get it down. It's a facial from Paul Hume as well. Paul also there for the tackle. Lewis plays it back to Canescu. Gets it on to Sterling. He handballs it over for Jackson. Gets it on now to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen just short though. Good defence this time from Great Britain. They come across and cut him off. Pearce. He'll go from there. Pearce. And he'll score. Well, Wayne Pearce won his jumper back and just scored for Australia. And that would be a sweet try. The New South Wales skipper, Balmain skipper, Wayne Pearce. Australia running away with this now. What's this? Pearce. You can see he was going to run from there every time. No way they were going to stop him. He just headed for the corner and in.
Well, I think Pearce has made more straight yards than any player on the paddock. He deserved that try. His defence has been right up there.
O'Connor from the junction line of the 22 of the touchline. Difficult kick. Not successful though, so the score now remains Australia 28, Great Britain 10. Britain players really bounced out of there. I couldn't quite catch who it was. But here's Lewis on to Sterling. He's got O'Connor. O'Connor flicks one out for Curry. Ford sort of lunges at him. Now there's plenty happening. Players all over the place. Australia say, let's play football. Sterling on to Bobby Linder. Linder gets it to Lewis. Lewis will score! Australia in again! Lewis under the post! Henderson Gill runs around and chases him, but they just want to play football this side. Hungry for points, Australia. And Gary Belcher in jumper number 14 is on for Eddinghausen. Radius feed, Great Britain's ball. So it's the second one in the last few minutes. They've won against the feed. This is Offia. Now we'll see his pace. Away he goes. He beats Gary Jack. He's going to score. Offia will score. Wally Lewis cuts him off so he can't improve the angle. But we've finally seen him run in a straight line and he's scored a try. Oh boy, he can burn the turf, this guy. I'll tell you, he can run. When he goes straight, he's great. What's this? He stands Belcher up. He gets away from Gary Jack. Puts the accelerator down, has a look. Belcher comes back at him. Lewis cuts him off. But Offia scores. 16th try of the tour.
Well, if Belcher comes up short in defence, he should have nailed him there. And he beat him on pace from then on home. But they won 2 balls against the feed from scrums.
Okay, Lachlan now set for the kick. Bobby Linder and Borton having a bit to say. The 16th try for Martin Offia on this tour. And he, of course, is from the Widnes Club. He can motor, and he goes straight. Lachlan, poor kick. Score, Australia 34, Great Britain 14. Paul Hume, the main tackler there with Mike Gregory. Lewis, Sterling. Fullerton Smith. Jackson shapes the kick, frees the arms up. The ball picked up, flick back. Fullerton Smith, they're going nowhere, but they're throwing it around. Pearce, he'll straighten it up, flicks it back inside. Goes to Lewis, on to Sterling. It's full time. Australia have defeated Great Britain 34 points to 14 here in Lake Park, wrapping up the bicentennial series. 2 block with 1 more game remaining in Sydney. Can Great
Put too many spill balls down, and we didn't control the ball as well as they did, and of course they scored the tries and we didn't.
Oh, they're a brave football side, you know, they always will be. Any side that's coached by Malcolm's always going to give it their best shot, and they've got probably half a dozen of their top players out of the touring side at the moment, so we're just glad that they have.
Rugby League, both at an international level and on the Sydney club scene. The week began on Tuesday at Seaford Oval in Canberra, when the touring Great Britain team, with many Test players involved, took on a President's 13, a team chosen by ARL President Ken Arthurson and made up of many untried and uncapped players.
And conditions here very, very, very slippery indeed. So the Englishmen should be at home. Plenty of defence going in already. And the first penalty of the match has gone to the President's 13. Ward was the offender. Alexander kicking for touch. Well, Jack, this rain has not let up all day, and conditions there will chop up pretty quickly.
Well, it seems to be fairly solid underfoot. Picked up plenty of yards on that little scamper. Even though there's plenty of water there, they seem to be gripping all right.
Well, there was a game played here earlier, and the ground started to chop up, but you can see underfoot there it's pretty sloshy. Here's Gavin Miller. He opens up with a good burst and makes 4 or 5. The defence of Great Britain comes in pretty quickly. Fenwick there at dummy half. Ball goes out to Alexander, onto Florimo. And they find Bradley from the Penrith club. This is Truella, and makes a clean break. Truella too, can he link up? He looks like he can, yes he can. First try for the President's 13 goes to Steve O'Brien after some good lead-up work from the Eastern Suburbs player in Truella. So it's virtually on the junction of the 22 on the sideline, as you can see. But the ball will get very heavy as the afternoon continues, so he gets plenty of distance, plenty of height, waved away though. So the President's 13 leading Great Britain 4 points to 0. Andy Gregory to feed for Great Britain. Great Britain ball goes out to Hume. The run around, Hume takes it back. A little lob pass over the top, loose ball though. Referee says play on, 6 to go. Gregory in a dummy half. Little run from there, looked to unload too, but there was no one there, and they're giving Gregory plenty of attention here. The little fella gets belted down, has a look too. Comes back for Ward. Oh, Ward with a crunching tackle and goes down hard too. It was Geyer. Great Britain dancing around in the mud, but not going too far at the moment.
Well, at least they've hung on to the ball. Previous to this, they couldn't work out a 6 tackle count.
Here's that incident again out of the penalty, holding down the tackled player. And Jack, that has become a blight in Sydney football of the last 2 or 3 months, hasn't it?
Well, it started to get out of hand in the test, and certainly in the second test and the first test.
This is Lachlan. Paul Lachlan from St Helens. We've seen him play at fullback in the 2 tests, playing in the centres today. The strong kick of the ball, he's really out in front. It's not difficult to kick, and he gets it too. So the score has changed now. The President's 13 leading 4 points to 2 over Great Britain. Alexander, a dummy half. The green and gold's nice and deep. Alexander. Little short ball out for Truella again. He's causing the Great Britain players with plenty of headaches, but this is Lazarus, and the big front rower goes in. So all too easy at the moment. Some quick passing by the Australian players, and they're opening up Great Britain. Glenn Lazarus, the try scorer from the Canberra He's only about 13 metres out from the post, but he's about 15 metres off centre. Not a difficult kick. And gets the 2 points. So the President's 13 now starting to open up a little gap here. Florimo onto Gaia. Wrapped down by one of the newer players that we haven't seen, number 8, John Joyner for Great Britain.
Well, they're short on defence here.
They can get it out in Australia, but still going, and this is Lazarus. He gets it away to Alexander, is it? He's in again. Alexander has just snuck under the Great Britain defence after some good lead-up work from Lazarus again, so he's played well, the big fella out of Canberra, number 13. Here it is again. They went on the with the touring Kangaroo side. Went through Great Britain and France undefeated. Kicks a lot lower this time, but still off beam. So the score remains Presidents 13-14, Great Britain 2. Hume, Paul Hume. Now they're only about 12 metres out. Gregory, there's the kick. Plenty of chasers. Fumble ball, Mike Gregory. Try. Well, we said watch for the kick. Gregory thought it was the only way he's going to get over this defence, so he put it up in the air. Great Britain followed it. Mike Gregory scored off it. Here it goes. Up it goes. Now, there were plenty of chasers. Watch Mike Gregory. Keeps his eye on the ball. It's mishandled, and he scores.
Well, I knew it should have caught this ball. It was the last play, last tackle can stick it up and chase the football. We come up empty here, and Mike Gregory was smart enough to have confidence that something had happened, and it did.
The difference between wet weather balls to kick, Mick?
Well, I think these are a little bit harder to kick, these balls. They're a smaller ball. They've probably got a smaller sweet spot. So I think that's the difference.
Well, he's got it in the air nicely, and that's not a bad-looking kick. That's okay, in fact. So now the scoreline reads the Presidents 13-14, leading Great Britain 8. Hume gives it to Powell. Oh, and some big defence. They take the ball, and this is a chance. Mal Meninga in. That's simple. A jolting tackle. The ball goes loose. Meninga in. Mal Meninga. That's a sweet try for him. He'd love to score that one. Mal Meninga, always a study of concentration when he's kicking. Another hard one. It's at 24 metres out, almost on the touchline. Gee, he's got some distance, though. Waved away. So the score at the moment, 18 points to 8. Number 15 coming on, Hugh Waddell. He's from the Oldham club. We'll see who's coming off. Gregory gets it on to Powell. Powell out of one. Goes nowhere, though. Hugh Waddell, wearing 15. He's with Ellery Hanley, the captain of the Great Britain squad. Not playing today. And that ball will find the line, so that's not a bad kick. Miller pulled off a good tackle there. Powell. He runs into Fennick. And Miller again. Hume. Gregory. Now they get chance. This is Ayres with a bit of chance and a pace He starts to wind up. He gets it into the President's 13 side. He gets a good ball out for Lachlan. Lachlan starts to stride. He's looking for support. If he can link up, there's a long floating pass out wide. And the runners are still coming. So this is probably the best pace of play we've seen. And a chance to Ford. And that's a try from Ford. Well, they took play from the President's 13 side of the ground, ran it across the field and linked up with some good chain passing in this wet conditions. So we'll finally see some reasonable wet weather football out of this Great Britain side. That was a good player for this side since they've been in Australia.
I think he's shown a bit of ability, yes, but it's when he starts to fight that he worries me. But in his first test, he played very well on the wing, and he's shown a bit here again today. As long as he keeps his arms down, I think he's a fair player.
Lachlan's kick is waved away, so the score now looking a bit more interesting. The President's 13 side scoring 18 points to Great Britain 12. Certainly done his job here this afternoon. David Gillespie from the Canterbury club. Florimo had a look then, and this is a chance if they can spin it quickly, and they're spinning it pretty quickly. They'll go in for number 2, I think, yes. Oh, they're back out, so the Great Britain side are in with a chance now. They fought back quickly and fought in for try number 2. It happened pretty quickly. There's some good lead-up work from John Joyner. Let's see it again now. Florimo was looking at the defence or where he was going to pass the ball. Joyner got onto it quickly. He got it quickly out to Darren Wright, then on to Ford. Ford headed for the corner. O'Brien got there, but too late.
Well, this is the case where Australia's got the football, and they give it back. And Great Britain score the try.
Proverbial dog on the field. He's having a good time in the rain. Well, this is an important kick, Ray. It's not an easy one, but Lachlan seems to get a fair bit of distance, but he needs to be pretty accurate, and under these conditions, a very difficult kick indeed. But if he can do it, it'll be 18 all. Here it goes. He's certainly got the height. He's got the distance and waved away, so 2 points in it. Great Britain 16, trailing the President's 13, 18. Alexander with a dummy, gets it out to Bradley, and Bradley's in. So Alexander just making a little sprint. Good on to Bradley. Bradley over. Alexander, enormous acceleration. Just off the mark. Came out of the scrum. Through the little dummy, they brought it to, going backwards. No defence there, and Bradley in for the easiest of tries from the scrum.
Well, it looks simple enough, but it certainly takes a pretty smart player to do this. But this is a build-up with no possession over the last 7 or 8 minutes, Great Britain. And they just lost that little punch and both ways, I suppose.
Greg Alexander would be pretty happy with that too. And that was the Penrith connection there. Graham Bradley from Penrith scoring off a ball from Greg Alexander from Penrith.
Well, we're going to give Mal another shot. You lose the post pretty good. Everything limps to port or limps to starboard. He's got to put one down the middle shortly.
22-16 with this kick to come. And you won't get any easier than this today. This time successful. So the score now, the President's 13 have scored 24 points to Great Britain 16. Well, Jack, can you see anything that can indicate that Great Britain will come out firing in a better way on Saturday?
Well, I'll start with this. I think the best player for Australia has been Tuella. I think he's had a fine game. But I can't see anything different happening on Saturday against the Test. I still think they've certainly showed a little bit of enterprise here tonight. I thought their performance has been pretty good, Great Britain.
Well, final score now for you. Ken Arthursson's President's 13 side have scored 24 points to Great Britain 16, so another loss to them.
The third test between Great Britain and Australia. Now, Great Britain has not won a test match against Australia since 1978, and you have to go back even further to 1974 to find a Great Britain win against Australia in Sydney. This series, of course, already decided, with Australia wrapping it up, winning the first two tests, and in many ways, the future of international rugby league was at stake.
The referee, Francis Duplat. Just about set here now for the third and final encounter of the bicentennial test. There's the kickoff. Straight away, Gregory takes the ball. He gets it back to Stevenson. Pumped down with some big defence. Well, Jack, this referee, you've already mentioned him. What about Martin Bella's selection?
Well, his last game in the Queensland game was pretty good. That was in the State of Origin, but his two previous club games, he's played more like Bella Star than Martin Bella. I thought it was very ordinary stuff.
Comments from Jack Gibson as Great Britain flick the ball back, but they get a penalty because Australia's offside. Well, Mick Cronin, this Great Britain side have got nothing to lose today. How do you think they'll play it?
Well, I just hope they concentrate on playing football. As I said, their defence in the second test was very ordinary, concentrating on high stuff, but I hope today they get back to what we saw in the first half of the first test.
A familiar voice back home in Great Britain. Ray French, the head commentator for Rugby League at the BBC. Ray, how do you see the changes to your side in this, the vital test?
Well, Donald, as you say, 9 players injured, but a lot of new lads playing today, a lot with a lot of pride, and I think 2 or 3 lads have been really deservedly rewarded. Prop Hugh Waddell won 3 man of the matches up in country. He's played hard, and Paul Hume, tremendous enthusiasm since he came out on replacement. But we can never have had a test match for Great Britain where the hooker takes the field and he's never actually struck a ball in his life before. That must surely be unique.
Always in pairs, always solid. Back for Lachlan. Gary Jack turning around to have the ball covered and about 3 or 4 metres out from the line as he winds up. He's had a great series, Gary Jack. Gregory's in there. The ball's come loose too, and Gregory takes it from there. So that was good defence from Great Britain.
It was a fine shot. It was a good chase by Gregory.
Hume coming back for Waddell, a new player. Stocky sort of a player. But, was injured early in the tour, but looks pretty fit this afternoon and raring to go. Comes back for Hume. That's David Hume. 2 brothers playing today. We mentioned that was creating history back in the second test when they both came on. And, of course, both in the starting lineup this afternoon. David Stevenson. This is Gregory. On to Ward, Fullerton, Smith and Lewis in there. Hume dummy half out to Gregory. They look to switch it. There goes the kick. Plenty of chasers coming through too. A pressure kick. The ball is loose. But the referee had already called them back, and Gary Jack. Is it Gary Jack? No. There's an Australian down. Let's have a look at this again. Jack, it wasn't a bad kick.
Pretty fine kick. I can't work out what's happened here. He's given a 25 tap. I thought Australia knocked the ball on. I'll have to look at that in replay. I'm confused.
Union Jacks are flying just offset with this scrum, so there's plenty of support here for Great Britain. There's been quite an amount of people come out from the old art for this tour. This is Stevenson. Stevenson recovered from a shoulder injury to come back into the centres. Gets it back to Hume. Loose ball. Ellery Hanley trying to unload. There's just no one there. He stood there and spun and still couldn't unload it. Hume dummy half. And Waddell dummy half, and they're inside Australia's 22. They're in the danger zone now. Let's see if they can put a string of passes together. Yes, they do! Andy Gregory, he gets a ball out of there in. Oh, that's all right too. Martin Hocker in for Great Britain. Some smart work there from Andy Gregory, and the Union Jack flies here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Oh, look at the colours going up from Great Britain. Martin Othlier. He went in off Andy Gregory, but it was Ford who made the first bust. He got it to Gregory. Gregory split the Australian defence and lobbed the ball over. Othlier in.
Well, I think we compliment Ward and we compliment Gregory. He did a little run around, two handlings of the football, threw the ball, went forward about a foot or so, but it was close enough. Good try.
And the Union Jacks fly here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Gregory spins it out for Ward. He gets it back for Gregory. Gregory straightens the attack up. If he's got some runners, he has in Hume. Ball loose. Gregory there to snap on it. He's darting around. He's elusive, this little man. Loose pass back. It comes on to Ford. He's a stepper forward. Winds up Ford. He's going to get there. Oh, did it again. Oh, there's a good play there that time from Ford. He can step this ball, I'll tell you. And Andy Gregory doing the lead-up work again. Oh, the Englishman are going mad in the crowd. Ford, Bradford Northern player. Well, the Australians at the moment, look at Gary Jack shaking his head saying, what's wrong, what's happened? Lewis saying, let's settle it down. Here we go, Andy Gregory. It came off Mike Gregory first. Now it went back to Hume. A loose pass, then Andy Gregory picked it up. Now this is where he made the inroads. He stood up the Australian defence. It was Wayne Pearce, Gary Jack, then came and got him. But look at Ford, just stepping his way through. Still going, beating all the defence. That's a good try.
Well, I'd credit Eric, what's his name, that Hanley? I'd credit him. He got the Ellery. He got the penalty, which shouldn't have been given. And then they got some momentum going from that play. Got the free kick, put them in on their 22 line.
Back for Hume. On to his brother, David Hume. It's Paul Hume and David. Paul playing in 9, David in number 6. Gregory, again they're going to kick. So Martin Riley's tactics today, keep it down there into the ground. Will he be a happy coach at long last?
Well, I probably thinks the same as I do. When you're 10 in front, you hope the bell will ring. Well, he hasn't got far to go to half-time. There's 7 minutes, but we all coach the same. The bigger and stronger and the meaner your players are, the better you coach.
Lewis, wild one back for Vorton, can't be handled, loose ball. What's the referee going to do?
It's play on.
He's played on. Well, Great Britain with another great chance here. Martin Othlier, he reaches out, loses the ball. Gary Jack has it. Well, I think they panicked and rushed that one, Mick.
Well, yes, I think you could see try number 2 come out. You'd be better off taking the tackle. But I think it's Australia's doing most of the panicking. They're coming with plenty of lost balls. And again, the disappointing fact is they're still trying to attack too close to the ruck. I would prefer to see them trying to spin the ball out wide, Australia.
Well, you saw it then. Peter Sterling looked to the bench and he just gave a little nod, so I don't think he's going to stay there. Gary Belcher getting ready to come on, so it looks like Sterling will come off. Coming off now, will he be a dejected player? He's a fine competitor. Well, Great Britain now just outside the 22 line, you can see there, and they're running it across. This is Andy Gregory's been busy this afternoon. Throws a big floater back for Ford. Ford straightens it up. He's got a bit of step forward. Comes back. He's found a little gap again. Ford, if he can unload it, he does too. Oh, they're so close. Ellery Hanley getting it back for Martin Othlier. I don't think he's the man to have there, quite frankly, but he gets the pass away. Kevin Ward at the line. Kevin Ward, the Australians hold him up. Well, Ford doing some damage here this afternoon. Look at Gregory with a head back. The 2 Hume brothers doing the work there. On for Lewis. He's going to run Lewis. Only a couple of metres out. Can he get it down? Oh, yes, try. Oh, Lewis so strong. Just bustled Great Britain. They hung off long enough for him to slam it down. He turned his back on him and they let him get it down. And starting to gain some ground. Malcolm Reilly, the Great Britain coach. He's had so many disappointments. Can he side hold? Hang on here. And Mickey's going back for a pretty important coaching job that may keep him out of the top job for Great Britain.
Well, he's going back to take over Leeds, and I think the rule stipulates over there if you're coaching club side, you can't coach the Great Britain side.
Anxiety written all over his face, Malcolm Reilly, as Great Britain now are inside Australia's 22. Mike Gregory, 10 metres out. Andy Gregory, the little chip kick. They've rehearsed this many times at training. Through the runners come Henderson Gill, and it's a try. Well, it's worked again. Look at this. Henderson Gill's gone absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Slapping hands, saying, what about that? Well, it came out of a training movement. Watched him do it repeatedly. Andy Gregory slotted the kick in, and he's done it. Watch this. Now, there's the little kick. The ball bouncing pretty well. You can't see anybody from here. The ball goes loose. A clash of Australian players and Henderson Gill on it.
It was a fair try. It's a collision course for Australia. A little slow getting to the football. Bang, it squirted loose. Yeah, and there he goes, just puts it down.
I think it was important for Great Britain to come back with a quick try after Australia's early try in the first half, early try in the second half.
But again, this defence comes over. This time, David Hume. Back over. No, he's in. Oh, the big fella maintains his record and cracks him and gets the try Australia needed. Oh, boy, did they need it. Big Slam and Sam. Scoring tries with gay abandon this season. He done good, he runs strong, he sure did. I've heard that before. Look at Sam Backo here, straight into the line and takes Lachlan with him.
Well, a little extra ball for Australia. Sam got some momentum up. They're all standing beside the man who played the football. I suppose that was the idea.
This is Ward. This is Ward. Brian Case in number 15. And we've also got Bob Linder in 15 on the Australian line. This is Lachlan. Lachlan winds up. Lachlan straight through. Australia still going. Lachlan. And he's got support too. Unloads it. Oh, look at this. Henderson Gill winding up. It's a chase. Gary Jack comes with him, and that's a great try. Oh, Great Britain in, and he does a bit of a boogie. And the Union Jack flags here have gone absolutely crazy. Well, what a try. Lachlan just strode through the Australian defence. Got it under Henderson Gill, and Gill did the work. Up go the hand slaps. Great emotion here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Oh boy, look at Australia. Can't believe it. O'Connor's face tells the story. Second try today from Henderson Gill. Hume. Andy Gregory makes another three. Oh, still going, Andy Gregory's got Mike Gregory with him. Here's another try coming up in the League Cup. Gregory hasn't got the legs. Down he goes. He'll get there. Mike Gregory has done it for Great Britain under the post. Oh boy, Andy Gregory opened him up and Mike Gregory went on with it. And that is almost the length of the field. Look, the atmosphere here, unbelievable at the moment. Oh boy, Andy Gregory, let me tell you, he made the break. Lewis, he can't believe this. Now watch this. Andy Gregory got through some terrible defence of Eddinghausen. He gets it under Mike Gregory. Now he had support in Ophir. Lewis holding back Ophir there. But Gregory knew he had the legs. Wayne Pearce running him down, doing the best he can. But Gregory too strong from there and in under the post. And that's about it.
Here we go. It's just a matter of Gregory and Gregory. They put the job together. They got 6 points out of it too. And also got the third test.
Reward for Mike Gregory. In every game we've seen him play, he's always shown he's been prepared to work. But we probably don't expect to see him score 50-yard tries, but when they need it most, he's come up with one.
He sure has. Paul Lachlan, 2 from 4. This one's a sitter. Can throw it over from here. There it is. He's got it. So, 26 points to 12. Great Britain over Australia.
There's been a lot of good players there for Great Britain. I think they're going to come up with a try, Australia.
Tony Curry gets it back for Jackson and on to Lewis. Can Australia go in the dying seconds? This is Belcher. Belcher, last tackle Australia. Lewis gets one for Gary Jack, but straight away he's belted down. The ball goes loose.
and Great Britain have fallen on it. Malcolm really, he just wants to hear the siren. That's all he wants to hear.
Well, we've got 20 seconds left, and we've got 4 plays left for Great Britain. There'll be 4 runs from dummy half. Congratulations, Great Britain.
Forward. Mick, your summary?
Well, I think they've definitely been the better side today. They've come out prepared to work in defence. They've been creative in attack. Whereas Australia have come up, their discipline with the ball has been very ordinary today, and it's something we don't expect from the Australian side.
It's all over. Ray French is delighted. The English flags will fly here now. Malcolm, really, what a great moment for him. And look at the Union Jack flying high. Strong emotion here at the Sydney Football Stadium. They've waited a long, long time, and this little man had a lot to do with it. He's had a marvellous game. Mike Gregory, a great game. Ellery Hanley, courageous, been down a number of times and came back. Loughlin's played the best game we've seen him play in this country today. And here's the traditional swapping of jumpers. Hume and Lewis swapping jumpers, the 2 number 6s. And this is a great moment for Rugby League internationally, believe you me. That's in no way being detrimental to Australia's loss, but the game needs to be strong internationally.
New Zealand